What is going on, everybody? We're here, we're live, and we're ready to rock and roll. We're barely ready. I gotta be honest. It is the last Sunday of the month. As always, on the last Sunday of every month, or at least as close to it as we can, we do this live stream over here on RK Outpost Live with me and some of my biggest supporters. I made a mistake last night. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go out, going to have one or two drinks, chill a little bit, and I'll be good. I drank way too fucking much last night. I drank a lot, and I am tired today. But the show must go on. Just because I'm tired. What is that? I got to power through. I got to push through that bullshit. Am I going to let a little bit of, I don't know, liver psoriasis or not liver psoriasis, cirrhosis? Is that what it's called when your liver just starts dying? Am I going to get a little bit of that to make me fail in front of all these people? No, of course not. The show must go on because it's Sunday. So hello to people in the chat. Xander is here. St. Adam is here. Lord Thoth, Angst Kitten, GI Bro, Wally Stad, Dylan. What's up? And Xander says, Ryan, is fuck my life happening tomorrow? Shit, it is. Which reminds me, I have to send Vera the picture of me so she can put it in the thumbnail, which I forgot to do last night. So yes, it is, but it's happening on her channel. And then the one after that, it'll be back on my channel. A little bit of rotating going on there. A little bit of rotating. But yes, thank you for the interest in fuck my life. Again, me putting that live stream up on this channel gained 800 subs on this channel. I don't know how or why, but that's what happened, which is kind of crazy. Which is kind of fucking crazy. But that's enough of me babbling. You got to hear some of that earlier today on Sports Wars. You'll get to hear plenty of me babbling a little bit later. Let's bring everybody else on. We've got Sleazy. What's up, Sleazy? Repping the Medicare gear.
Damn right. He's still alive. It's fantastic.
That man is hanging on for dear life. Like,
you know, when you said you had a fucked up night, I thought you meant you left the hooker in the trunk.
No, I let her out, unfortunately. Like, that would be even worse if I didn't leave her in the trunk. I forgot to kill her and she just escaped. So that would not be great. But you doing good, man?
Yeah, doing great.
Hell yeah. We've also got Mr. Gabriel Knight. What's up, Gabriel?
Not a whole lot. Hope everybody's enjoying their long weekend. I'm getting ready to grill out here myself, and just want to say free purist.
Free purist, yeah. Like we talked about that when it happened. I was a little bit concerned about another channel that was out there as well. And so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that is disappointing. Unfortunately,
the other channel is
he is up on Rumble though, right?
Yeah, the other channel was nuked, and so yeah, it's going to be a Rumble exclusive now.
Yeah, he is up over on Rumble. So maybe I will get that and try to share that in the chat before we're all done. We've also got Lore Master Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Ryan? I haven't been on here a while, but I had to be here for this show, large part because of what Gabriel just said. The whole situation with purists it's such BS. He was in the middle of doing his streams on the New Jedi Order, and he hadn't even gone through the Agents of Chaos duology before his channel got nuked. I woke up one night and I saw the messages saying that his channel was gone. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like obviously, I talked about it on Twitter a little bit and tried to get a little more attention for it. It was Star Wars Marvel Purist channel was mass flagged. Let me think about how I should phrase this. There was another channel that popped up. It felt like to honor the memory of Star Wars Marvel Purist called Bane of the Shills, which is doing similar content, and that very quickly got nuked. One thing that I will say to people is that if you get banned, right? If you like get banned off of YouTube, it's very tricky with the way it works with making other channels, because if you are banned, you are not supposed to create another channel, essentially. Like to create content, it's considered ban evasion, and that can get you like the thing really quick. So you got to be very careful with how you market something. You know what I mean? But that is unfortunate. I'll find his Rumble channel and we'll share it in the chat and get that going in a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that's on Rumble now. I do kind of feel sorry for him because it feels like a channel like his is going to have a much harder time growing an audience on Rumble, because it feels like Rumble is mostly just a political platform. I tried watching one of his streams and I was stuck with like 3 minutes of political ads.
Yeah, look, Rumble, we'll put it this way. I've been on Rumble for like 4 fucking years, basically. I've been on it a long time. Like before it started taking off, before everybody started going there, I think I have a little over 10,000 followers on Rumble, which is great. But yeah, discoverability is very difficult there. It essentially is, are you going to get rotated to the top? Is it going to be randomly promoted one day? Stuff like that. Discoverability is a little bit of a problem for videos and live streams. And that's, if they want to truly compete and be a competitor, that's something they're going to have to fix eventually. Because that's why, look, the reason that YouTube continues to be as massive as it is, because you can find fucking everything there. And also for creators, yeah, some videos might not pop, but like you all the time, if you scroll through your feed, you'll find videos that might have like 12 views or something. You'll see them when you're scrolling through. Like, it is possible to discover other people on YouTube. It's just tough on Rumble right now. At least that's the way I see it, like in my experience. Mazit Wazad becomes a member of the RK Army. Thank you, Mazit Wazad. Appreciate it. But yeah, I will look up Star Wars Marvel Purist thing. Fuck My Life. I'm really happy with how Fuck My Life turned out. I'm really happy with that that name. I don't know if anybody got a chance to watch it with me and Vera Dark, but I'm excited about the FML podcast. What a perfectly appropriate name. I'm not good with creating stream names. I don't know how you guys feel about that shit, but I'm not very creative.
I thought it was a great stream. It was really entertaining. The only thing missing from that stream was It's a Gundam. If he had been on there, it would have been just perfection.
I would love to have Gundam on at some point. That'd be fun. Gundam was on FNT with us. That's always a blast.
Yeah, he was. Perfect guest for the episode about Take Us North.
Bro, Sleazy, have you talked about Take Us North at all on your channel yet?
No, I've been trying to read up on it. I've had so little time to do much of anything. It's propaganda for. Well, I'm trying to say things that won't get your channel deleted.
You could say for illegals.
Yeah.
Did people learn nothing from Concord?
No.
It's like when you go this extreme woke, your game is doomed to fail. And this is peak woke.
This is different than Concord. Like, Concord is about like the weird character designs and a couple pronouns and stuff like that. This is the entire game. Like, from gameplay to level design to everything is all about pushing a message. It is all about pushing illegal immigrant propaganda. You play as just a wholesome coyote who just wants to use your empathy to help these people find a better life. It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
I mean, that's why they took their website down. They got caught.
Yeah, they got a lot of attention. We also, just popping in here, I'm sure he can give us some information on illegal immigration. John Gets Gaming. What's up, John?
Yes, I very much have the look of an illegal immigrant. That's what everybody thinks when they look at me. Like, you fucking Irish coming in the country with your red hair. Anyways.
I'm Irish.
I mean, it might be happening again. The way the UK's going.
That video of the Scottish girl pulling out the tomahawk. I could not
tomahawk
believe
and a
it.
knife, dual wield, akimbo style.
Yeah,
and then
she's
also
the one getting.
Subhuman is here. What's up, Subhuman?
I'm at home.
Nice. You doing good?
Yeah, I've been digging through my short boxes, trying to get everything situated.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice, man. Well, good to have you here.
Yeah, it's been. I know it's been a while, but I've been busy.
You rolling all around the country. Yeah, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
So like, I guess when it comes to Take Us North, like the funny, you mentioned the Irish thing. The funniest thing is that video that Asmongold reacted to, which now you just can't find, right? You can't find it because they privated it, so it's gone. The only video you can get is the one Asmongold reacted to, which is unfortunate because he's obviously reacting to it. But they start asking people all around what they think of illegal immigration, and they're talking to the first person they talk to is a goddamn Irish person. Like, and it's like, why are you talking to this person who is clearly like is not at least if he is an American citizen, is something like happened like very recently, right? So the idea of like walking around and asking normal everyday Americans how they feel about something, the first dude is an Irish person. That made me say, you know what, we made a mistake there too. Why'd we let them in?
Well, and the whole thing was in Gamescom, which is obviously in Europe, so that was a bit of a disconnect.
In Germany, of all places.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you ever want to like go to, if you ever want a place to talk about like the dangers of like government taking over entire countries, the place you go to is obviously Germany, of course.
Well, and speaking of the Irish, here's my history major coming out. The Irish are one of the first people that were hated for lowering wages for everybody for coming into the country. So not even that they were illegal, but they were just willing to work for less. And so anybody who thinks it's a race thing, not really. Historically, it's always been about the wages, no matter what you are. And as my grandpa used to say, goddamn Irish couldn't even grow a potato right. So, you know, it's always been around.
That shit is wild, but I don't know, dude. I do wonder with all the backlash, the fact they deleted the website and all that. I wonder if this is one of those rare cases where the game just, we may never see it again. Like it might just not happen.
More than likely, it's going to be like what happened with Sweet Baby Inc., where they just silently rebrand because this stuff's not going away. They'll find a way to hide it again.
Like Dustborn, I would have never heard about that other than the negative coverage of it. Like that game had, I mean, that was obviously like an indie game in the first place, but just because it was government funded by whatever, or partially government funded by whatever, well, I forget what country it even was, but that would seem to be the main reason it even got covered at all. So that's what I suspect with this one, where like the only coverage I'm probably going to see is people trashing on it.
Every once in a while, a game like this comes along and it's really fun. So I hope it comes out. Like I desperately want it to come out so we can talk about it and we can make fun of it.
I played Golem. That was a fun time in a strange way.
For what?
Golem.
Oh, Lord of the Ring Golem.
Yeah, that wasn't anything woke. That was just a really shitty game. It was like, I can't believe they licensed this.
The one game that Gary can be bothered to play.
Yeah, really.
Bro, it sucks because obviously there's like some lore issues and stuff like that, but with the like Shadow of Mordor and all of that stuff that came out like I feel like a decade ago at this point, I really like those games. I like the Nemesis system. I really enjoyed them. And the fact that they just stopped making those, period, and they copyrighted the Nemesis system so no one else can really use it, but they don't use it either, or trademarked it or whatever. What the fuck is the point? Like, if you ain't going to use it. But
people need to just like copy that, but change it just enough that they don't get sued. Because that was a cool system. I actually thought of that whenever the Blade game was announced. I'm like, they could have like the tiers of vampire lords and different clubs and shit that they own and have little underlings and stuff. If you're like doing an open world kind of Blade game, I always thought that would be cool.
Bro, that would be really cool.
That'd be like the perfect system for a Game of Thrones game.
Oh,
like you going around, you're like the king of the country, and you've got lords that you've got to like keep in control, and those that rebel, you can like invade their castles.
Yeah, and there's like lesser and greater lords over them and everything like that. Yeah.
That would be
They
cool.
gave all that up for Call of Duty and government subsidized wokeness.
Oh well.
One, It does feel like there's a lot going on in gaming recently because obviously Call of Duty is getting a ton of backlash for their Black Ops 7 trailer, which I don't know if it just is the way it is, but every Call of Duty Black Ops that has been set in the future, I do not like. I feel like that's a game that is supposed to be like, it's cool because of when it's set in large part, because of these conflicts that are going around. So 60s, 70s, 80s, and then finally 90s. I think we got like really early 90s, like 90, 91 or something in that last game. And I like it. I think that's where it works well. I think that's where it makes sense. Every time they try to go in the future, it doesn't fucking work.
Sort of like Assassin's Creed, where like it gives you such freedom to jump around different areas and stuff. And that's kind of where the variety of the game comes in. Cause, you know, the multiplayer probably ain't changing too drastically from game to game or something, but at least you get a cool story set in a new time period. But yeah, the future stuff it doesn't feel like the right, like it should just be a different franchise that covers that. Like Activision should just make something else if they want to make future shit.
But I agree. Have the name so it won't sell.
Yeah, Call of Duty was always best when it was a World War II era shooter, in my opinion. I've never really liked it, with the exception maybe one of the Modern Warfare games. I haven't really liked the others.
It's funny that Ryan mentioned the Black Ops game set in the future, because technically Black Ops 2 is no longer in the future. We just passed that in the timeline.
It's like the Mega Man games whenever they're like 20XX is the year. It's like, well, I don't know if that's now or later, but we don't see the robots throwing toasters at people or anything or whatever their powers are.
But I do agree with what he said, because for the most part, the future Call of Duty games, I don't like them. I don't like the advanced movement. It's just discount Titanfall. And on top of that, like a lot of the mechanics are just really, I don't know. Black Ops 3, for example, I just did not like that game's multiplayer at all. The create class system was very like simplified. It was just like you just play the same way over and over again.
That's what always gets me with multiplayer. It always just kind of ends up being, I don't know, repetitive and boring. Like the longest I've probably stayed on a multiplayer game was like Dragon Ball Fighters, and that's just because it was a Dragon Ball game. And I was like, if I'm ever going to get good at a fighting game, I suppose it'll be this one. So just dedicated like 3-4 months. But other than that, like a multiplayer game, it's like, I don't know, a couple weeks. And then I'm like, all right, I played through this map and there's like 3 ways to play it smartly. And I just do that over and over again.
One multiplayer game I keep going back to, which fittingly enough, now that we're mentioning it, is Battlefield 1. I keep going back to that game because I love it so much. And it looks like we're now up for another year where Battlefield's going to beat Call of Duty in the hype train.
In the hype train, it certainly feels like it. I think when push comes to shove, Call of Duty is going to sell way more than Battlefield. But, you know, Call of Duty could come out and they could bring out a game where the trailer's literally just someone puking all over themselves and like that's it, and it would probably sell more. But with that being said, with all the money that they put into it, with their expectations, what they expect to do, if it can take a chunk out of that, you know, if Battlefield can legitimately cut into a little bit of those sales, it could be big. Like, we need competition. It's a good thing.
Well, if you remember, in the same year that Battlefield 1 came out, that was when we got Infinite Warfare, and that was famously one of the worst selling Call of Duty games in the franchise. Modern Warfare Remastered did better than Infinite Warfare.
They used to put so much more into their single players before their multiplayer took off. Like, I just played the Medal of Honor games, like, kind of in a marathon, most of them anyway, starting on 4th of July. And, like, they got, like, Michael Giacchino and stuff to do the score for the first couple on PlayStation 1. I was like, this is some production quality they got going for a fucking pixelated shooter.
I had no idea that's who did that. The guy who did, like, the Batman and, like, Fantastic Four scores?
Yeah, it was like, I was like, wow, they got some big names for like a new franchise at the time. And it's pretty funny, on the back of the box, they're like, playing World War II for the first time. And I'm just like, well, that became saturated pretty quick. It was like 2 years later, everybody was like, there's so many fucking World War II shooters.
It did become saturated, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, I'd rather do that than like some of the other shit that they're doing now.
Oh, yeah. I've actually playing through them. The one where they blatantly copied Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the 2010 Medal of Honor. That one is a really fucking awesome campaign. I was playing it. It was like the last one on my like order just because it's the most recent. I was like, holy fuck. Why is nobody talking about this campaign? I'm like ATVing around Afghanistan, doing strafing runs with an Apache and shit. I'm just like, this game is awesome.
Bizit Wazad is here. What's up, man?
You're
muted.
Audio.
Yeah.
Press
Muted.
the button right next to the camera.
Let's see if I can do it here. It won't let me unmute it. Oh, their mic isn't connected. It says your mic isn't connected. That's why it won't let me.
Highly
Filthy
organized.
casual.
Just what I'd expect from a Ravens fan.
Boom.
It's got that Lamar Jackson genetics, you know.
Oh god.
What did Lamar Jackson get on the Wonderlick? Forget. But now Mazit Wazad will be right back. I'm gonna put him in the back here so he can get his mic situated. But bro, I went to a Steelers Ravens game in Pittsburgh. Like the Sunday night before Halloween, like 10 years ago or something.
Nice.
I wore a Ray Rice jersey right after he had gotten like kicked out of the league for punching that woman. And I wore a Ravens hat, everything. I was all decked. I was just trolling, right? Because we were there. I was there on a work trip. And I was like, well, since we're there on a work trip, I'm going to go and I think you're good now. I'm going to just troll Steelers fans and root for the Ravens. Bro, Roethlisberger threw like fucking 5 touchdowns or something.
Oh, that
The
was
Ravens,
probably he had two 6-touchdown games back to back, and the Ravens was the second one. Yeah, he threw 12 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
yeah, they got the shit kicked out of him. But I had fun wearing my wife abuser jersey.
Based.
Yeah.
The Ben Roethlisberger game that pissed me off the most was Haloti Ngata broke his nose and we were winning, and he still came back and beat us. Broken nose.
Yeah, that was the one that freaked out Chris Collinsworth because they showed him on the sideline. He just goes like, and just like puts it back into place, and he's like blowing out snot, like blood snot. And then that's also the game where he had one of the best incompletions on their final drive, where like Terrell Suggs comes in unblocked, and Ben just like holds him with one arm and is holding the ball with the other, gets out of the pocket so he can throw it away with his other arm. And they're like, that's the best incompletion I've ever seen.
Like, I hate the Steelers, but with the plays Ben made, you got to respect it. You got to respect it.
As I always rooted for Flacco against the Patriots whenever you guys were facing off with them every postseason. I was like, I'll definitely root for the Ravens in these games. The Patriots win way too fucking much.
Mike Hill becomes a member over here. And then for $5 says, what do you think about Paramount negotiating a deal to make a Call of Duty movie?
It's gonna be trash.
Is that like, that's the first I've heard of that. Is that true? What's it gonna be like?
Just a military, like, I don't know. I feel like it'll just be sort of a generic movie. It'll just be like some military story, probably.
No, they'll make the strong female character that saves everybody. We know what Hollywood will do.
It's true. I'm thinking of the smart move where you just slap a really popular brand on something, make a pretty decent action flick, and you make a bunch of money. But yeah, they probably will screw it up somehow.
If they want to make it good, they'll have Chris Pratt as the team leader. They'll have like Sylvester Stallone as some general in the background. Like that's what they'll do, and they'll just make it an action shooter and just fucking cool shit everywhere. AC-130s, bring in some Warthogs, F-35s, but no, they'll have some woman who has to save everybody.
Yeah, but what generation? They're gonna go back to World War II? They're gonna do Modern Warfare, Infinite Warfare?
Yeah,
I don't even care really.
Exactly.
That's kind of like, that's my question with the movie. It's like, what would a Call of Duty movie be about? Is it going to be something that's like connected to like the Black Ops storyline, or is it going to be actually like, or is it just going to be, you could have done any fucking war type of movie and like call it Call of Duty? Are they going to do something where they set up they do something where they set up a fucking competition and it's like Call of Duty Warzone, and like people are actually joining this competition and people are actually doing like 4-man teams to parachute down to these things and fucking win this prize at the end? You know, is it something like that? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's kind of
That
like
would piss.
that Assassin's Creed movie that came out. What
Oh,
was actually like a virtual reality or something like that.
That-
And you get
Oh, not
it'll be like
Embrace.
it'll be like an isekai anime, like Sword Art Online or one of those other ones. They have to get stuck in there and they have to kill each other to get out.
yeah, it'll be meta. Yeah.
Yeah,
Be like the scene from The Rock when they're in the showers.
yeah, that's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
That's a great movie.
I cannot give that order.
How has there not been a Fortnite movie yet?
Thank God. Don't
Yeah,
jinx it.
Don't give them ideas.
It's just a dance competition. They're all just doing their fucking, anyways.
Well, they did do
I'm-
a comic book with Batman, but
I'm pushing it into existence. I'm speaking. That needs to happen. Like,
Imagine if they actually got all their licensed like properties that they have now in Fortnite. They would have to spend like $6 billion just on licensing. Just get every property in there.
Fortnite movie.
Well, they kind of already
starring-
made that movie. It's Ready Player One.
I was about to say
That is
that.
true. That is true.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the Fortnite brand. Fortnite might actually be profitable at $7 billion.
yeah, like
Mhm.
if they make a Fortnite movie and go about it trying to like target a similar audience, I suppose, as Minecraft, right? Maybe we aim for a little bit higher, a little bit better quality movie than
Oof.
Minecraft, but get your young players and the people that have been playing for like a decade or whatever. It could be shit and it won't matter. I think it'll fucking make money even if it's shit. Kind of like Minecraft.
Or
Chicken Tucky.
chicken. I'm gonna be a dad.
Bro, one thing is clear about Jack Black. We thought he was really funny when we were kids. Then we got old and we thought he was retarded. He stayed the same, and now kids still think he's funny. Like it works. It works apparently.
Sadly.
But
He was good in The Jackal, though. He was really good in The Jackal.
Yeah. It's one of his best performances.
Yes.
I liked him in Shallow Hal. Like actually, you guys
Yeah.
remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one with Gwyneth Paltrow and some other
She's
people.
fat, but on the inside, she's beautiful. Apparently,
But she's
Yeah.
beautiful on the inside.
I-
Fuck off.
I liked that. There were so many fat jokes in that movie. It was great.
Yeah, there was.
There were a lot of matches.
I mean, I didn't really like the message itself, like what at the end, but I liked the process by getting there, making fun of fat people. Like that was good.
One of my favorite Jack Black movies is The School of Rock. When
Yep.
especially my favorite part was when he admits that he lied about being a substitute teacher, and he said, "Your kids have touched me, and I have touched them." And all the parents go, "What?"
Yeah.
I always put like Shallow Hal and What Women Want as like, I don't know, it seemed like they were always playing on TV together.
Wait, is What Women Want the Mel Gibson one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where he's able to read their minds and stuff after he falls into the bath with a toaster.
Yes, yes.
And Mel Gibson's daughter was played by Ellie.
Electric bath bomb.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Or wait, it
Oh.
might have been like a hair dryer. I forget. Toaster doesn't make much sense in the tub,
Yeah,
so I have a
it
feeling
was
it's
a hair
something else.
dryer.
Yeah.
It was he accidentally shocked himself while trying to kill himself. He's like,
Damn fuse is saving my life.
But yeah, in terms of Paramount making a Call of Duty movie, that's the first I've heard about that, honestly. I think Paramount's exploring a lot of stuff, like when it comes to Transformers and things like that. Now that they finally got that merger through, we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, that Transformers comic book is really good right now. I'm enjoying that.
I've never been into Transformers ever. Like,
Have
not the
have you
toys,
watched
not
the cartoons?
show.
Oh, you
I
haven't?
didn't really care about the cartoons when I was growing up. I watched the Bay movies like everybody else did growing up in that time frame, like at the theaters. But outside of that, I've never cared about Transformers. I don't really know why. It's just never been something I got into.
I remember watching Beast Wars at my grandparents' house.
Me too.
I had Beast Wars, and I got into, not surprisingly, the more anime looking one. I think it was called Transformers Armada, where they had little mini cons and they would transform into swords and shit that the Transformers would then wield, and like they had like three of them would combine into a shield, and then like they'd make all sorts of different little gadgets. Toys for those were cool.
I like
Yeah, the old
I like the
Transformer toys were-
Transformers.
I was obsessed with the cartoon when I was a kid. I remember being so shocked watching the movie when Optimus Prime died. And
Yeah.
being like, what? This
That was
can't
the last time
happen.
I cared about the Transformers because I saw that in the movie theater as a kid, and because I'm old as dirt. And yeah, after that, I was like, I can't watch this anymore. It was soul crushing to watch him die.
I always had the G.I. Joe movie on VHS, and I was born in '92, so it was after like these shows were airing on like TV and stuff. But so we always just watched the movie, and I didn't realize that it was so influenced by the Transformers one, where like Duke gets a snake thrown like clearly through his heart. There's blood spurting out, and he clearly like dies in the other guy's arms, and they just sneak in a line. They're like, he's gone into a coma. It's just like he looks fucking dead. I don't know who your doctor is here, but. And then at the end, they just like, as they're all celebrating, they're throwing the line. They're like, Duke made a full recovery. It's like, what? He had a snake through his heart. How's that possible?
I'm
Plot armor.
Like they just threw in those lines because people got so pissed off about Optimus Prime dying, and it was still Hasbro. So they were like, all right, we're not pissing people off again like 1 year later. So just throw in a couple ADRs here.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like maybe the age I was when they were coming out or whatever, but Transformers and G.I. Joes never got into them. I was into like Ninja Turtles and shit during that time.
Yep.
Like I had a bunch of Ninja Turtle action figures, and I was always watching the show and stuff. That was like my jam back in the day. Had like Leonardo pajamas and shit.
Yeah.
We had a VHS.
Actually, I had the Donatello pajamas. I also had
Donatello's
the
always my
sheets,
favorite,
the
yeah.
curtains, the toys. I even had the van, all sorts of gadgets.
I've never been a big Donatello guy. Like in this day and age where anytime they make something, somebody's got to be gay. Donatello's 100% the one they would turn gay because he was like the closest to gay already, right? Like he's just a fucking
I thought
nerd.
he'd be more. I thought they'd make him more artistic since how smart he is.
Oh yeah. I always liked Ninja Turtles. That was the one game that my mom would ever play with me because it was in the mall. They had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 arcade game. We'd always bring the quarters, get some Annie Ann's pretzels, and play some fucking Ninja Turtles.
Actually, the one I went to was actually at McDonald's is when I played the arcade game. Because I remember when McDonald's had the arcade games.
Back when McDonald's had a soul.
Back when McDonald's was actually McDonald's.
Wait, McDonald's had arcades?
Imagine that.
Huh.
What?
Must have been a high class one. I didn't
remember
have those
that
in
shit.
mind.
Wendy's, Pizza Hut, your
back in the
McDonald's, they
90s.
had arcade games in them.
I remember Pizza Hut. Like distinctively, you'd always have like a handful there. But McDonald's, I never remember that shit. Play Place, of course.
no,
arcade, damn.
Well, this is early mid '90s. There's a McDonald's close by to me, and they had a couple arcade games. And I know Street Fighter was one of them, and the other one was Ninja Turtles. But I don't think it was all of them. I think it was just a handful of places that had them.
That's kind of crazy that McDonald's used to have arcade machines.
I don't think it was McDonald's, but somewhere when like the Nintendo 64 came out, I remember playing that and eating some sort of meal.
Well, around
I
Pittsburgh,
went
we
to a
had these
Walmart
really
and played
cool.
Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah.
We had these really cool groceries. Well, the grocery store's still around. They don't have this section anymore, but the Giant Eagles around Pittsburgh, it's like a local grocery chain, and they would have the Eagles Nest where all the parents would drop off their kids while they shopped. And it was always awesome whenever your parents went to Giant Eagle because you get dropped off there. They had like the N64s, they had the PlayStations, they had like 6 TVs like set up, and they just have like one, chick supervising or whatever, make sure kids aren't throwing shit at each other. But and then they had blocks and stuff, but nobody wanted to play with those. But I remember they kept the Nintendo 64s around because they're like, there's no moving parts. These things are durable as hell. They're just bricks. It's like that was the coolest store though.
Mine still works. I had one of those like my one that we got like a year after the other one. I had one in my room. It was like one of the smoky charcoal black ones. You know what I mean? You can kind of see through it a little bit. That still works fine. Last time, I mean, this is like 2 years ago, I guess, last time I checked, but I went home and fucking popped GoldenEye in. No problems, bro.
You got to run those old systems every once in a while. Like my PS3, it gave me the hell of a scare the one time because I went to play Arkham Origins around Christmas time, And it was like not taking the disc, not doing anything, or the disc went in, but then it wasn't reading it. And then all of a sudden I hear like clunk, and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck just happened inside of this thing? And then it's like, oh, it's reading the disc. All right, it's like warmed up, I guess. I took it out of a bin after like a couple of years on ice. And then it was really funny because I went to load my save and it was like, your previous save is from 2016. And then I'm like playing this in December of 2024. I'm like, apparently I only play this game whenever Donald Trump wins an election, I guess. So it was like exactly 8 years apart. I was like,
That's wild. Yeah, it's. But I remember like back in my GameCube, like I would always get fucking pissed when like one of my friends would open it and like, because you know when you open, like if you just fucking open it, it's still spinning, like in the GameCube, and they would just fucking stop it. I used to get fucking triggered because I thought it was gonna like break it or whatever.
Like scratching a record.
It was probably no problem, but I always used to get pissed. I thought they're gonna break my shit. I loved GameCube back in the day. I was too young to understand that is like the worst controller design in history and awful. I guess apart from the N64, which is also awful.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of GameCube back in the day.
Yeah, GameCube at least has 2 handles. That at least makes sense for a human. The whole 3-handle thing with the big one in the middle, and the flumpy joystick that would always get all floppy after a while. It's like I don't know what they were thinking with this one.
The closest thing I ever had to owning or playing a GameCube was I would go to my friend's house at one time, and he had a Wii, and the Wii would actually have backwards compatibility for GameCube games, and we'd play like this old Naruto style fighting game where like he specifically said, don't ever pick Dragon Lee because that's the noob character.
Wow, nice.
Thanks, Kid says Nintendo shit cube. I liked it. I like.
No, he's referencing a video which EFAP covered one time where like it was this guy trying to copy the Angry Video Game Nerd, and so but he had really low production quality, and he was like Russian or something. So he'd always be like, "Nintendo shit cube is terrible," and he's like throwing it around and shit.
I am not the same thing as FPS Russia.
It was bad. Oh my god.
Fuck, man. Just bring back those days. Fucking, like, no responsibilities, no anything to worry about other than, like, your mom telling you, like, your friends have to go home or some shit like that. That was about the only worry that I had in my life.
Hey, Dad, can I get some replacement batteries for my Game Boy Advance?
Well, I ain't gonna lie now. Now thinking about, like, Game Boys and stuff, one of the like scariest experiences in the world is like playing Pokemon, doing like a run through a Pokemon, and that fucking red battery light comes on your Game Boy.
Yep.
I know.
No
Like
auto saves.
Well, I have Pokemon Blue. I mean, I have fun with Dad.
Like no auto saves in games.
Nope.
I feel like is something like obviously we have some games now that do come out where you got to have very specific circumstances, whether it's a Souls game or whatever, right? Like to actually like save the game, and ramifications happen maybe sometimes when you do. But I feel like that needs to become more normalized in some games. The idea of ramifications. If you walk around the corner and get shot, you're not just starting to right at this checkpoint. You're fucked in a way. You know what I mean?
A lot of them will have it on.
Back in my day, if we died, we started from the very beginning. We didn't have the.
Yeah, have you watched any of the like younger generation? I say younger, like 25 and under, try and play old retro games. They fucking lose their goddamn minds.
I do like
games like that now. That like, has anybody played Until Dawn or those type of games? Because you're trying to get people through a night or something or situation, and if they die, they're dead. You can't go back to a save and like start over. It's just like, oh, they're dead.
Dude,
Yeah, I like those games.
Heavy Rain, I fucked up the first time I played it because I unintentionally got the trophy for getting everybody to the end, and then they all die on the last part because I just fucked up the quick time events. It was too much. I was like, oh, I did everything so perfect up until now. Like everybody found out where the killer was, what was going on, what the passwords were, and everything, and then I just utterly failed. Everybody was murdered. The killer got away.
Have you played that game, The Quarry? It's like the same people that made Until Dawn.
Oh yeah, that had Ariel Winter in it.
Yeah,
it's got the dude that plays the guy The guy that plays the
It's robot? No.
the Superman. He's in Superman. I fucking drawing a blank on his name. Jimmy Olsen. He's in it.
Oh yeah, and
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah,
thinking
he
of
is.
Until Dawn had Rami Malek in it. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Close
they
My
still-
favorite part of that game is there's a part where there's this total see you next Tuesday character, and it gets to a point where you have an option to shoot her, and I never hesitate to pull the trigger. It's like, yeah, you're dead. I'm sick of you. Bye.
I always say those games are awesome. Like if you ever know people that aren't as into games, every single like woman or casual or whatever that I go, let's play Until Dawn, because a lot of chicks are into horror movies or whatever, and they have famous actors in them. You can't really lose, because even if you lose, it's just killing a character or whatever, you know. So you sort of trade on what characters you're playing. It's been some of the most fun I've had with just like non gamers playing games.
There's a lot of
It's just like-
replayability because you can go back
Yeah.
and change the story.
Yeah. They get super into it, like yelling decisions at you and stuff, and
Yeah,
vice versa. You know, you're all just, if you get like a group of 3 or 4 people together, it's super fun.
I tell you, a great game to play with the group, like especially at a party, is the Rift Tracks game. It's
Oh.
works like Mystery Science Theater 3000. Everybody types in their own thing.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
weirdest part of that is that you said women want to play that game.
Oh, like Until Dawn and stuff. Yeah, it's like more
That means
cinematic and it's pretty easy. Like it's like it literally says like press X and then you press X. Like it's very easy to play for. You always, I don't know. I feel like gamers a lot of times are really bad about like catering to the audience that they're with. It's kind of like, oh, you want to play a game? Sure, let's play Call of Duty. And it's like, no, I don't think most people that aren't really into games are going to be into that.
It's going to be
pick
fun to
something-
watch them figure out like why can't like how to just like walk this way like strafe because they can't control both joysticks at the same time. Yeah.
It is funny whenever you like we played a Journey, which is very simple. It's like the joystick and X is the only thing you have to use. And my one friend, she just could not figure it out. She's like running into walls constantly. I'm like, it's literally impossible to lose at this game, and somehow you're losing at this game.
Hang on a minute. Which one's X?
You guys not have phones, says Gung Ho Mac? Well, obviously, we're not talking about mobile games are goated. Like Pokemon Go. I got my dailies today, so I'm good in Pokemon Go. Never tried out WWE Champions. Don't say I won't, but I mean I haven't yet.
Shout out to DSP.
Hey, have you reached your best goal, Ryan?
I reached my what? My vest goal?
Yeah.
Hold on, I might have my Gunner glasses around here somewhere.
That game
Look,
first
chat,
came
unless we
out.
get more donations, we can't continue the stream. It's all behind a paywall right now, okay? So Ryan's just going to have to get a couple more donations, all right?
Bro, like, no shit. Some of the funniest things I've seen the last couple months was when Mario Kart World came out and we saw the DSP compilation videos of him playing Mario Kart World. Like, some of the best content we've seen in a long time. Like, like to watch him run directly into a banana or directly into somebody that has shells or whatever. And the immediate thing is, oh, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. It was right there. Just pops up. Game randomly threw it. It is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, every time I see a video with journalist plays, and I just know if I scroll down a little bit more, it's going to be DSP.
And then, especially because it's like, all right, so people are just supporting enough to make him continue to play it. You know what I mean? So he has to complain enough to be there, but then he'll get it. So he'll continue to play it because people are actually donating to that one, but he doesn't want to. He desperately doesn't want to play it. And you can just tell. And I love that shit.
Yeah, it's all the trolls. They already, he bitches, he lets you know everything he hates. So the trolls are like, oh, really?
Has DSP ever done something as hilarious as the one time Boogie received a $3 donation and he said, "Thank you. That's a lot of money for a person of color." What? You remember that?
I don't keep as much up with these. The only Boogie exposure I have is through EFAP, to be honest with you. Yeah.
No,
I want to die.
I do know what you're talking about. Like the super chatter was black or something, or like It was like $3. Like, hey, that's a lot for a person of color. Thank you. Like it was something like that. Where's Lolcow?
Trying to get the got a poster. It's got every Lolcow on it. It's fantastic.
Everyone.
That's crazy. Why is that not up on your wall?
I got to rearrange so I have room to put it up because otherwise you're never gonna see it.
There you go.
I mean, between the flight chair and the computer, and yeah.
Did you guys see what the box office looks like this weekend?
Oh boy.
Wait,
saw
are there
that.
Well,
actually-
yeah, the Jaws is at number 2 right now in the box office.
I saw
On a-
that F1 has surpassed Superman.
On a holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend, the number 2 movie at the box office is a 50-year-old movie in Jaws.
Such a good movie.
Ooh, I didn't know that was anniversary. I might go see that this weekend. Actually, I still do love like even movies I've seen before, seeing them in the theater. So I'm one of those suckers who'll go on a re-release like that.
This has to be one of the worst weekends like of all time in history. Like just kind of in general, like excepting maybe COVID years or something. Top at the box office is Weapons, which has been there for a couple weeks already. Number 2 is Jaws. A new movie came out. Caught Stealing came out. Less than 10 million. Freakier Friday still hanging on. The Roses is a new movie. Fantastic Four just completely 4.8 million, only a 20% drop. But I mean, the legs on this thing are essentially dead as it is. Superman still in theaters, but what does that tell you about the state of movies when you can just come out casually with a 50-year-old movie, not even promoted all that much, and it gets number 2 at the box office? That's fucking insane, dude.
Revenge of the Sith made like 50 million on its latest run, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was 50 million total, but it was a decent amount. It was in for like a week or whatever.
Yeah, and then what I remember during COVID, it was funny because they were replaying. They only had like the drive-ins open, and like Jurassic Park got the top spot at the box office the one weekend, and I was like, that has to be some sort of record for like time in between being number 1 at the box office. It's like a quarter century almost.
But Jurassic Park had like a super long run at the box office in the 90s too. Like that movie stayed in theaters for a year more, right?
Yeah, because they used to have 6-month VHS windows and sometimes longer. I think it kind of depended on how the movie was doing. So yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, like movies were good enough that they stayed in theaters for months because people kept going back to it. I still remember Revenge of the Sith came out in May of 2005, and we didn't get the physical release on DVD until like September or November, somewhere around that time.
It's funny because in Japan, like a lot of times they won't release their shit here until they do the home release there. And so we'll get it like 6 months later or something. Like I remember Suzume came out like 6 months later, and then that seems to be kind of the standard. And not coincidentally, I don't think their box office recovered very swift. Like as soon as they lifted their restrictions, the last Demon Slayer movie, which the new one's coming out in a couple weeks here.
Yep.
But the last one made like it broke like all their records, not even like post COVID, just overall. It became the number 1 grossing movie ever. Like it came out at the end of 2020 in Japan. And then you had to watch the whole first season to even understand what was going on in the movie. Like it was literally just the next arc in the show. And they were like, well, it's a pretty short arc. We'll just make it a movie. And it made like, I think like $400 million, the equivalent in yen.
Yeah, you talk about Mugen Train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the entire manga in like one sitting.
Oh, nice. Well, you're probably excited for the Infinity Castle coming out soon.
Yeah, I mean, the training arc is not my favorite because there's not a whole lot of fighting going on, but it's still a good arc. But yeah, the rest of them are really good because I like the fighting and all that. And the animation is really top notch.
I think that movie's gonna do well. I mean, the last one's already made 50 million here, and that was in 2021. So
yeah,
it's
but
still like half.
Three. They're doing 3 movies of the same arc.
Yeah.
So that's really gonna bring in some money. But how long is it gonna be in the theaters? Because we all know how Japan is.
I could see it because it's actually getting a normal release. Normally, those things get like their release on Wednesday and play for like a week, And this one, they seem to be committing to like Sony seems to be kind of putting some more stuff behind it because they saw the last one. They're like, it did pretty decent in a still half COVID year. So we could probably hit 100 million in the US if we actually put our muscle behind this. Put some ads in, get it on more screens.
It comes out what, September?
I think 11th is what I have my
13th?
Ticket for. Yeah.
Yeah, if they keep it there for like all the way up till Christmas, they can make a lot of money. Well, at least the 45-day limit. I think that's how long it's supposed to be on. But at least until Thanksgiving or something like that, they can make a lot of money for that.
So it sounds like you're going to buy 100 tickets.
I've already got one.
But the money
if I like it,
sure.
I'll get 2 more. So probably I like seeing I love seeing animation in theaters because you notice little details. I always see the Miyazaki films whenever they re-release. Like you just notice some crazy, especially the hand-drawn ones, like the animation details on the big screen, and the score is usually pretty awesome. And
especially when you read the manga and then you actually want to see the full fights and all that stuff. That's how it really plays out. I was like, yes, really gonna be good.
They could definitely use a bump at the box office. That could have come out this week, and that would have been nice.
Probably
you know what I mean?
Its legs better. Yeah, it has less competition moving forward. So
but you gotta watch it in sub or dub.
I ain't fucking reading the entire time there.
I know you're not gonna read anime no matter how many times you try to convince you to get into anime. You're not gonna do it. So that's not gonna count.
See, I'm promoting it more for Ryan to go see it from a comedic perspective. Like he can do a review with Vera where she has all the knowledge of like the entire manga, and Ryan's jumping in on the end arc with no prior knowledge. He's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, that chick has big tits. That's kind of nice. She's dead.
It's like K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever, which is obviously massive success. Every time I scroll by that on Netflix and it like plays the little preview, I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm gonna like this. Like I show me some clip that makes me want to click on it, and there's nothing. There's just never anything.
Yeah, I honestly have not been interested in that either.
I can send you
the movie theater. I watched it last week in the movie theater. In that, well, I got 2 little girls, so I watched that last week in the movie theater. So I saw Fantastic Four in the movie theater opening weekend on a Saturday night. There were 8 people in the theater, to include myself and my 2 little girls. I go to this K-pop Demon Hunters last week. That place was packed. Everybody in there singing. People were having fun. I mean, I got kids, so I got an excuse.
Ryan, I can send you a clip that'll make you want to watch it, but you can't play it on YouTube, and you should probably wear headphones.
Dude, okay. Still probably the most hype a theater has ever been is when the first like new Dragon Ball movie came out, because we've been waiting. It was 2013 and the last episodes had aired in the States in like the early 2000s, but the fucking manga had been concluded for a lot longer than that. And that crowd was hyped as fuck. We were like watching Goku go Super Saiyan for the first time, like new footage. We were just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
And I wish I could have a theater experience like that, because we were just mentioning movies that recently came out. I finally got the chance to watch Superman for the first time.
Oh, God.
And I have never been like so whelmed with a movie in a long time. I watched it and I just like sat on my hands the entire time with the occasional like, what the hell was that? Just being annoyed at certain points. Like when the engineer got into the Fortress of Solitude and did her little flip, I was just like, what the heck? Just turn around.
Oh, yeah, the handstand phasing out. Yeah.
I kind of hated how, like, the movie's really fucking dumb, and it, like, thinks its audience is very dumb, too, but, like, from 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is into the movie, when they break into Fortress of Solitude, it's so evident that Ultraman is a clone of Superman. Like, that it's not even a fucking reveal. It's nothing. Like, yes, they spoiled it with some of the toys in the marketing earlier, but like, even if you hadn't have known that, they make it so crystal clear and obvious that it's not even a twist. It's not anything interesting. Now, there is something, guess what? There is something interesting to the idea that Superman when faced fighting a clone of himself, a Superman who does not kill, a Superman who wants to save everything, even like big dumb kaijus that are like running around. The idea of him fucking killing a clone of himself should be some pretty big fucking ramifications. Like that should mean something from this character that we've seen on screen. That's like a wild thing to do. Not just to kill, but also to kill someone who effectively is yourself.
Tell that
And
to
that
Zod snap neck.
No mention. Boom, gone. Done. Like, done. Down that
Yeah.
fucking black hole thing. Which it's probably going to be like, well, he actually survived because of this.
He's
Superman thinks
Bizarro.
But
Somehow
Superman didn't
Palpatine
know
came back.
Plus that little scene at the end with Superman and Lex Luthor. I saw like the extended version of that with the behind the scenes thing. It somehow was even worse than what we actually got, where Superman says like something to the extent of, you said I was super shit and that hurt my feelings.
Oh God.
I don't know. I kind of thought Superman throwing his retarded clone into the black hole was kind of base. Just like, hey, we can just get rid of all the dumb people, throw them into a black hole.
He's just like, I have great genes, and throws him into the black hole.
Exactly.
Eugenics.
My genes are better. I'm more pure.
You guys saw the behind the scenes clip where Corn Sweat was fighting a gun on that scene because he
Yeah.
thought it was the wrong take. And Corn Sweat was right. He was very right about that.
Yeah, where he's expositing all of his inner thoughts, basically. It's like the most corny dialogue. Not
And-
corny in a Superman
My
sense.
Superman.
and maybe I
You
feel.
mu-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you thought that was corny, you must not have watched Alien Earth.
Yeah, I have
Bro,
not actually.
I will not touch Alien Earth with a 10-foot pole.
I hate that show. And I don't know if I'd hate it more or less if I actually cared about Alien at all, because then I'd probably be like upset about lore shit, but also at the same time, it's like at least a thing, and they're introducing things that are familiar to this universe, and you can think about stuff like that, and it's like engaging, even if it's shit. I just hate the show. Like, there's not a single character that's likable. It's incredibly boring. I don't even really understand what the point of it is. It's just dumb, bro. I can't stand
But they
it.
have Sid the Sloth.
Oh,
They did. Ice Age is now canon in the Alien universe.
Yeah.
So is Peter Pan, I guess.
oh wow.
Yeah. And
It's like you're banned, guys. You
so
understand?
is a giant plant testicle. That's a real thing.
Using like children's minds to inhabit these bodies. That is, I guess, that could be an interesting concept, right? It's not interesting in the show at all
No.
because, like, the kids act retarded. Nothing about them would say that they could take advantage of these like things. For instance, for Wendy or whatever her name is, who's able to do all this tech stuff and watch her brother and like all this stuff. Obviously, she has access to a lot with this brain and this technology that she possesses. The other kids, when they encounter a word they have never heard before, can't even like Google it or look it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what the tech can or can't be used for, or what the purpose of it is, or how they're supposed to be these like supreme beings. Or
I can break this down real easy. Everything except for the transhumanistic kids is a Deus Machina to push that plot along. That's everything. The entire plot of that show is transhumanist kids. Everything else doesn't matter, and it's just to move the plot along when they have shitty writing.
How many episodes is it?
4? Well, there's
How many
4
episodes
out.
Oh, I don't know how long it's going to be, but
I might be able to look that up real quick.
Because they could have really linked all this out.
And you think in the far future they would have some sort of internet that they could have did a quick Google search with?
So it might be 8 for the first season.
Yeah. Now I know what it is. They didn't want to get it done to know with. That's why it's also kind of like clustered in together, because they can't expand it out. Because remember back then when we had like what 20, 24 episodes a season to really flesh everything out. Can't do that here. So that's why everything's so unexplained in the new shows now.
It's not like they don't have time. Nothing happens in the shows. Like
literally
Pretty much,
nothing
yeah.
happens.
Well, I never
nothing
watched
is
it. So.
happening. There's plenty of time to get deep like explanations or like philosophical questions that they're discussing. Like there's plenty of time for it. It just sucks. And then you have Peacemaker, and Peacemaker's might be an even worse watch.
Oh God, I've never watched any of the season, any of Peacemaker, but I know about the whole whatever episode that was. Is like no, it's supposed to be for kids.
An R-rated show.
Yeah. It's connected to Superman, to the Gunverse, right?
I just don't understand why this is your follow-up to Superman, and I don't understand why you're telling everybody that it's so fucking important and that you need to see this, and it's going to set up all the future of the DC universe. When it's like, one, it sucks. Two, it's obviously mature rated. So your audience that it felt like you were trying to appeal to in large part with Superman, you shouldn't be watching this at all because it's bad and because it's fucking porn, basically. So I find it aggressively unfunny. I don't like Peacemaker. I liked John Cena's Peacemaker in The Suicide Squad as one member, as part of a whole. I thought it worked well there.
Yeah, the joke doesn't wear thin when he's part of a group more so. That's why people are like, oh, they need to make a Les Grossman movie or something. I'm just like, great character. I don't know if he's like a main character. Like, there's just certain characters that are better as like seasoning or a little bit of flavor in a larger group.
It's almost like James Gunn is better with ensemble casts than he is with a singular protagonist.
Certainly, it's what
James Gunn do Brightburn.
I don't think he wrote it or directed or anything. He may have produced it. But yeah, your follow-up go ahead. It is a slog out there right now for some of these fucking shows. And Superman is the king of the retards at the box office, meaning it's the highest grossing comic book movie this year. And it's the worst year we've ever had for comic book movies in like 14 fucking years, basically.
Dude, the goalposts for that have shifted so much too. Before it came out, it was like, is it gonna make $1 billion? Make 800 million or something? And then now that it's come out and it's made less than even like Man of Steel, even with all the inflation and everything, people are like, well,
why'd you say that word inflation, John? That's so toxic.
Habits have changed since COVID. No movie's gonna make that much. And then you bring up all the like $1 billion movies that have come out since then. The
Moana,
Barbenheimer. It's like, superhero movies can't make that. It's like, what? But there's been multiple superhero movies that have made $1 billion. So this excuse just keeps getting lamer and lamer.
Well, you see, the reason why Shang-Chi didn't do well at the box office was because of COVID. Well, let's just not talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. That doesn't count.
Oh yeah, wait till Brand New Day comes out. You know that's gonna make a lot of money.
But I heard that Supergirl's going to do better than Spider-Man.
No, it's not. They're doing Tom King's freaking version of Supergirl. And trust me, I've read Tom King's Batman, his entire run. Good at first, and then by the time we got down to the so-called wedding, it really started to suck.
Yeah, well, they're not making
How is Batman not the follow-up to Superman?
How come Wonder Woman's not even a part of it either?
Easy win. Exactly.
Yeah, well, they're not making superhero movies to sell tickets. They're making superhero movies to sell merch.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I think a lot of people nowadays are actually done with superhero movies in general, especially across the pond. I mean, you see how the box office is with all these movies coming out. They're done. They're waiting for something else. I think that's why anime is making a lot of money now when they're releasing it in theaters.
Yeah, I think that culturally, people are starting to just get tired of them. Period. There's been too many of them. Too many of them have been bad. Gabriel, I know you got to get out of here, man.
Yep, thanks for having me on. I got to get the grill fired up. Got some people on their way. So you all have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
Where's my invite?
Appreciate it, man.
Come on over.
There you go. That is a good as of a reason as any. Go grill. Sounds good.
Yep. Nice day outside.
SWA with 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to SWA.
What's
Just
up?
like that profile picture. And then Jackson Cagle for $2. Thank you, Jackson. But yeah, like it's like you're seeing right now, you are seeing clearly that there is something wrong with the comic book movie box office, right? That even if a movie comes out and people think, well, that might be, at least that's maybe like mid as opposed to some of the dog shit that comes out and it's still getting the same results at the box office. People are just moving away from it. There's a lack of interest. And it's in the middle of while Marvel's trying to do a huge build up and then reboot their universe and DC's trying to reboot their universe. This is all happening as they're seeing like the potential payoffs for it crumble in front of their very eyes. That has to be a rough situation for them to be in, like in those buildings, like trying to deny that this thing is falling off, trying to deny that there's a lack of interest compared to what it used to be, while you're ready to put so much behind your new universe. Like,
which is a shame because I love DC and I've been wanting them to like finally like get a full-on universe going for a long time, ever since like they tried to with Batman v Superman, but the problem was that was a terrible movie and they just haven't been able to do it. So, and they have the perfect opportunity because Marvel right now sucks ass. We just got done with a year where the very first Marvel movie that came out was Captain America Brave New World. If ever there was a chance to take the momentum away from Marvel, it's now, and they don't know how.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, it's just like in the comics. They're gonna, no matter what, Marvel's on top, and everybody's gonna follow Marvel. They're too afraid to actually outdo Marvel because, well, that's how they are. But DC was around longer than Marvel. They should at least, they can actually step up and take over. They just don't want to.
And they have
a problem where they want to. They don't want to build a universe though. They just want to like throw it all at you all at once and expect you to accept it without the build up.
No,
That's what
yeah, exactly.
The build up doesn't matter. It's the message.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Everything burns. But like, if we were to look at like, say, like animation from back in the day, like there was right before they made the Justice League cartoon, they had the Superman animated series and the Batman animated series. You start your universe by building the individual characters before you go to Justice League. And the problem with something like Superman is instead of making a Superman movie, they have to make it a Justice Gang movie. And the thing is, the Justice Gang is even more badass than Superman. Mr. Terrific is really the main real hero of that movie.
Yeah.
And Superman just gets his butt kicked the entire time. And the only part in which that actually makes sense is when he's thrown into that super contrived pocket dimension with the guy who can spawn kryptonite. Every other part.
But Chris, he saved a squirrel and there's crypto. We can sell merch.
I know. Oh my god!
Good merch.
It's like
T-shirts look like shit.
but it's like right after he saves this squirrel, and I have no problem with him saving a squirrel. I have no problem with him flying around trying to save everybody and doing stuff. I guess my problem is the juxtaposition between those sequences about how he cares so much about life, how he like wants to take this thing to a fucking intergalactic zoo or some shit to take care of it. And then he watches the Justice Gang kill it. And it goes so wrong and a bunch of people almost fucking die because of it. And his reaction is just, oh, shucks. You know, like that's the part that pisses me off. That it's like you set this character up to care about these things, and then when given an opportunity to show how he cares about that, he's just like, "Oh man, that sucks. Would have really liked to help that guy." Instead of like him getting upset or whatever. Like all the times he's upset in this movie, you'd think that you could have opportunities like that. But
And that
I don't
was
know. I thought it was kind of based. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to pretend to be upset about something, not a human dying."
And this was right before the scene that pissed me off more than anything else. the Jor-El thing. I hated that with such a burning passion.
Is that where he gets the instructions to go forth and get much poon? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Spread that gene seed.
And the thing is, like, right before I watched the Superman, I had watched the Christopher Reeve Superman movies and just compare the juxtaposition from how Jor-El is portrayed in those movies to this one. It's night and day. There's a reason why, for the longest time, everyone thought that message was fake and it was going to be revealed to be a fake. Well, no, it wasn't. And at no point
even good in the Zack Snyder ones.
Yeah, he's great in Man of Steel, Jor-El. The way he says, like, they will stumble, they will fall, but in time, you will help them accomplish wonders. Like, unironically, Man of Steel inspires more hope than this movie. It does.
I agree. And like that's like the funny thing about what the tone of this Superman was supposed to be all about, which is, I don't know, it missed the mark for me, obviously. But then you have a Superman movie that is basically just trying to emulate Marvel and what James Gunn did at Marvel, right? While a Peacemaker show that is, just fucking swinging dicks all over in the first episode. Obviously, we haven't seen that in any of our mainstream comic book universes. It's basically just The Boys. It's like the scene from The Boys, but now in DC. Isn't that edgy?
Wasn't it like a Diddy party?
Basically.
Did it have the baby oil?
Like, what was it? I forget what they were called in The Boys. It was like when all these heroes get together and fucking just have an orgy and smash. I forget what it's called, but
Jesus.
I didn't watch that past season 1.
Anyway,
I didn't watch any of it.
Anyway, that's basically what the scene was. The worst part about the thing, though, is that it's supposed to be a comedy, and it is not fucking funny. Like, I find almost none of it funny. I feel like the scenes go on too long. Somebody said I think it maybe on FNT, somebody said it feels like all this stuff is improv that they didn't edit down. They just kind of let it roll. And it feels that way in some aspects. And I just, fuck, man. Nobody's watching it either.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. People are like, oh, it had a 22% jump, an increase in ratings. One, it had about a 10% increase in ratings from season 1 opening to season 2 opening. After your huge smash hit success Superman movie used Peacemaker in it, and then you told everybody that Peacemaker was the direct follow-up to Superman and that everybody needed to watch this to get excited for the rest of the future of the DC universe. And effectively nobody watches. 700,000 households. Compared to the Penguin, also R-rated, which got 3.2 in the same given time period. 3.2 million.
I'm sure James Gunn is like just screaming his head off seeing these numbers, especially when like there's the whole controversy about like, are they going to go forward with his Batman or the Matt Reeves Batman? And here the Matt Reeves Batman universe is kicking his universe's ass when you compare Penguin to Peacemaker. And a large part of it is because, well, Penguin is just a better show.
Yeah, it really is.
You can tell how successful something is by what stats they give out. So like it's a 15% increase or what, like that's all relevant to yourself. It's kind of like whenever Marvel, I forget which show they were saying it for. I think it was one of the Star Wars ones where they were like, it's our highest rated new show on Disney Plus this year. And it's just like, you're narrowing the goalposts enough to make it sound good. Like this always happens in like with gaming companies too, where like, they'll be like, Microsoft used to give sales figures of their consoles. Now they'll say, oh, we've had a 15% user engagement increase, and there have been 7 billion bullets fired in Call of Duty. It's like when the statistics get less precise and less like down to brass tacks what's sold. Or even this year, Assassin's Creed, they were like, we've had 3 million players. Meanwhile, Claire Obscure was like, we sold 3 million copies. I'm like, oh, you guys have bigger balls. Like, you're actually saying what you sold.
or like after a month, they stopped reporting on the number of copies that Last of Us 2 sold.
Yeah.
Like, we sold this many copies, and we're not going to tell you how many more we sold after this period of time. It's almost like they're not good.
Yeah, to me, like the cope for James Gunn's Superman has been something unlike anything I've witnessed this year. Like the desperate attempt from some people to spin it as a massive, huge success. Your massive, huge success that you put out on video on demand 32 days or 35 days after it was in theaters, and within a week it's on sale for $9.99. Didn't boost any interest in Peacemaker, which shouldn't even be canon anymore, but you did it because James Gunn has his wife in there and didn't want to let that show go. It's been bad.
Well, then he says like, "Oh, I didn't know it was releasing that early," and it's like, you're supposed to be in charge. You think you would have talked to them about release dates of things that like you're directing and everything, or you're the showrunner of Peacemaker. Like your excuse doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it's like, well, when was this? Because just a few months ago, he was talking about what a long theatrical run it was going to have before it went out on digital. He was, look, he lies about everything. He does, and I didn't hate Superman. Like it's like 4, maybe 4.5, 4, somewhere around there. Didn't hate it, didn't like it, but it is not the hit that it so desperately that people are pretending like it is.
No, people were talking $1 billion before release. This is like
Yes.
revisionist history when they say like, "Oh, we only expected it to do this much."
Yeah. It broke even at 500. Bull fucking shit. Like what a bunch of retarded cocksucking motherfuckers if you believe this shit.
Yeah, because they don't know about inflation, marketing, how much it actually really made after all that. I still we don't understand a lot of it, but hey, y'all do. I mean, like I said, they see it, and that's how much they actually think it made. But no, that's not how much it made. You gotta take everything out of it to see how much it really made. But how much the studio actually comes back without take out inflation, marketing, and theaters.
But like, and look, the best part is we're still going off this $225 million budget, which it wasn't. It was higher, right? But even by going off what they've admitted, the $225 million budget, the $125 million marketing budget, which also is reported to be closer to $200 million than 125,
or reshoots.
Which is a bit strange to figure out that the budget is that high when the movie just looks like shit. Like the visual effects do not look good at all.
They spent $300 million on The Flash. That also looked like shit, and it had the same cinematographer.
I think the marketing is probably much higher than a normal film too. Like they even had for a couple weeks they had comic stands that I know that the gas station was not the one volunteering to put these up, so I know that WB had to have paid them to do this, where they would have like Rebirth comics and shit like placed. I'm like, I've never seen a comic in these like sheets. It's like a local gas station chain around here. Yeah, and they were in every sheet, so I'm like, all right, so they paid Sheets X amount of money to like throw these comics everywhere to try and get like the hype train going and being like, it's bringing back comics. I'm like, I don't think that was any sort of genuine interest on their part, and I didn't see any of them ever sell.
How much are they selling them over at the Sheets?
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't know. It was just like I would walk past the displays as I was exiting, like, that's weird. Why are
they're like $3.99 or $4.99 or something? Yeah.
Well, at the gas station right here, right by where I'm living, right next to my house, I know it's like I think it says like $3.25 for each comic, and that's a bit lower than what the price is on the cover. But they're not really doing anything. I mean, there's a lot of Rebirth up in there, and I know a lot of those Rebirths are like $2.99. So,
look, I think that they spent a lot on marketing and promotion of the movie. The way I think that you could say some of it worked is especially with the influencers and the people that they invited out there to the premieres and all that stuff, because I do think that they successfully gaslit a certain number of people into thinking that this thing is successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just being confident enough about it, basically.
Well, yeah, and by like having so many people up that were just shilling the fuck out of it, like in the way that it happened.
Yeah, they've all been pushing the memes. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Thought you were, but yeah, it's they've definitely been pushing the meme, like the Superman smiling meme and shit. I forget. There's been a couple others. The typing monkeys. That's like the response to everybody who even expresses like the slightest bit of criticism for it. They're just like, "You're the haters that James Gunn was talking about." I'm like, James Gunn's therapy session does not concern me. I'm sorry that the Snyder Bros annoyed him so much.
Dude,
I gave the Superman like better review. I said I think it's better than Snyder's, and somebody jumped in. You just hate this movie because you're a Snyder fan. It's like,
dude,
retarded.
That monkey scene, when I watched it, I actively cringed. I was just like, what is this?
And that was wild. The monkey trollbot army.
It's so stupid.
It never comes up again either. Like they just like flash past it in that one scene and then it's over.
It's just
and
like
Gunn's supposed to take inspiration for like 70s style comics. It's like, dude, that's nothing like what the 70s comics did. I mean, yeah, they were goofy and weird, but what he did, I think, was just completely modern. Is what he was doing. He was just doing it the Gunn way, which is just completely stupid and made no sense.
Well, trolling fans worked well for She-Hulk, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I never watched She-Hulk.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I really liked the Suicide Squad. I liked it a lot. That's James Gunn. That's James Gunn in the DC universe. But I think that those are the things that he does well. I don't think he's the right now. Even if you do want to have James Gunn be the guy to oversee your shit, I don't think he's the right guy to do Superman. And what did we get? We didn't get a Superman movie. We got an ensemble film where Superman at times almost feels like an afterthought in ways. And I think it's just because it's not something he's very good at. This is something that he couldn't crack. They asked him to write one. He's like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. It wouldn't be good. It wasn't until like they wanted him to take over DC that he basically finally was like, okay, I guess I'll write the Superman movie.
It wasn't
called Paul Dini
that he finally cracked the case. Because of course,
the entire movie is like him saying he didn't want to write Superman. He wanted to do Justice League, so he got a Superman movie and tried to do Justice League knockoff instead.
Yeah, I think that's the problem because I think Gary said it right. He's not writing. He doesn't want to write superhero films. He wants to write his own thing. That's why he likes the Peacemaker so much because it's the dark and gritty stuff. While Superman is, the lighthearted, Boy Scout and all that stuff. And I think that's what Gunn should stick. If he wants to write the dark, edgy stuff, do that. Let somebody else come in and do, the superhero stuff. Because I think, and also what Gary said, he's more into like the Image comics and all that stuff. So just leave the superheroes to people who actually do like superheroes.
And I've often accused James Gunn of trying to be like a wannabe Joss Whedon, but the problem is, like, unlike Joss Whedon, James Gunn has a hard time just writing unapologetic heroes. Like, you compare any James Gunn movie to something like The Avengers, where like Captain America in that movie is a full-on hero, and a lot of them are in that movie, and it comes across as a lot more earnest. And another problem James Gunn has is he doesn't have the restraint that Joss Whedon has when it comes to quips and humor and whatnot. And the problem is, I watched the Superman movie and almost none of the jokes landed for me. I don't think I laughed a single time during the movie.
And he was an actual comic book fan, and he wrote comic books, as opposed to James Gunn, who just
yeah. I mean, they could have literally gotten a comic book writer to come in. I mean, a lot of these comic books these days are, when they're writing, they're trying to write them as movies. So, and I know he's got Tom King in the writing room, which is really gonna really be bad. He could have gotten somebody a lot better. You could have gotten, let's see, who's actually pretty good right now. Could have got Jason Aaron.
Tom King is like a fucking cocksucking loser. He really is. Just one person in that like kind of writing room, like their lore room thing. But I don't know, like Supergirl, around the same budget as Superman. It's hard for me to believe that movie's going to make as much as this movie.
Yeah, but who wants
a good first impression?
Who wants to see a drunk Supergirl?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
potentially.
but
Well, yeah.
well, I don't, Ryan. I don't know how much Supergirl comics you read, but she's just like Superman. If she was drunk on a near a red sun, how does she get back to Earth? Because by the time she get back to a yellow sun, she'd be straight and sober all over again, ready to go.
Yeah, I don't really understand like that premise of it specifically. But I think it is a good thing to have Supergirl be different from Superman because
Yeah,
they are
true.
different. They had completely different experiences. They were different ages when they got here. One, like, even though this thing happened, stuck in the Phantom Zone, how long you out there? Like, it is a completely different experience for Supergirl, who's only been here for a handful of years compared to Superman, who was literally raised here as a baby. And I think that, like, the CW Supergirl show, if you guys remember that,
Yeah, I remember what was on
Unfortunately.
CBS.
they basically just tried to make Supergirl Superman, you know, and this is before they had committed to making a Superman show and like all of that shit. I think it's good for them to be different, and I think that that creates good tension. And I think it creates like something that could be compelling. However, the introduction that we saw to Supergirl, if it had been at the end of a movie where it's clear that everybody in the world, even if they disagree with or whatever, they have the utmost respect for Superman, her introduction, I think, can go over funnier than it does in this movie. Unfortunately, throughout an entire movie where so many people just fucking disrespect Superman and don't take him seriously at all, to then have another person, this time his cousin, come in there and immediately do the exact same thing that everybody else in the world does.
See you later, bitch.
Yeah, like I just it doesn't play well, and it's not like not a good feeling at the end of that movie. Whereas it could have been funny. I think it actually could have been funny in this world where everybody else has the utmost respect, but his Kryptonian cousin calls him a bitch. Like, I think that could have played well, but
Could have.
not this way. We're on YouTube. Stephen De Leon for 2. Catholics versus convicts. Notre Dame rules all. Ryan sucks. Bro, I hope all those fucking thugs whip y'all's ass today, Stephen De Leon. Yeah, Miami is playing Notre Dame today, the old Catholics versus convicts. I actually saw a tweet kind of go viral, a couple like white Notre Dame fans that were talking about how all Miami's players are just thugs and shit. I saw a bunch of people trying to get him canceled, a bunch of like black journalists trying to get them canceled, which is kind of funny. But yeah.
Yeah, how's Jeremy doing since last night's game? Since Alabama.
Came on Sports Wars and took his medicine and said, "Wow, we suck."
Jeremy taking his medicine all while saying, maybe this will make me straight.
Maybe. I don't know if there's no medicine in the world for that, but
yeah, man, but Ryan, how do you think Chicago's going to do this year?
8-9.
Yeah,
8-9, 9-8's kind of like right around there's my guess.
Yeah, somewhere around there because, like I said, we're still building it. There's nothing going on.
But they just have a really tough schedule, like a very tough schedule. So, I will be, if it's 8-9, I'll be fine. If it's 9-8, I'll be really happy.
Oh yeah,
regardless of whether they make the playoffs or not. But we'll see. Not getting my hopes very high.
Well, every time you make the playoffs, they lose in the playoffs. Usually it's the first and second time.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
That's my Steelers. We love losing in the first round.
Oh yeah, you guys love just limping in.
Yeah.
Is Lamar? Is Lamar finally going to take the step? Is he going to do it?
I don't blame Lamar as much as I blame the coaching staff. As a Ravens fan, what I noticed from the Ravens is they don't know how to make in-game adjustments. That's what kills me. And like, we got rid of the one coach we had that knew how to make in-game adjustments, and he's coaching Seattle now. I wanted them to get rid of Hardball. I ain't gonna lie, because it's been like that since we won that title in 2012. He just doesn't make in-game adjustments. He doesn't allow his coaches to make. He either doesn't allow them to, or he doesn't hold them culpable for them making bad decisions and sticking with the same game plan. And every time I see them doing the same thing over again, it's like, you're doing that thing that happened. Like, we lose every time you do that thing. Stop doing that thing. And they just do it. They don't make the in-game adjustments. It kills me. So, but Lamar, yeah, we got the pieces. I think we have the pieces. I think Lamar could win a title if you had that coach that can push you over the hump. But every now and then you get that coach where his message will get you so far, but only so far, and it gets stale, and you need that change. And I think we've needed that change for like 3 years.
It's tough because who is a coach that comes in that is better than Harbaugh? Nobody.
Who was the guy that they let go to Seattle? Mike McDonald, or was it Mike McDonald? Yeah, I thought he had potential. Put Harbs in the front office. He can give him some, but you need that. I think you need that fresh blood. We had it happen when we had Brian Billick. He won us a title. He got stale, so they pulled in Harbaugh, who was he's a special teams coach, and that special team coach wins us the title. Sometimes you need that fresh blood as a coach just to get you over that hump. I think it happened with Tampa too. They had who was that guy that they sent to Indianapolis?
Dungy.
And then the next year, yeah. And then John Gruden wins the title the next year with the same group. Sometimes you need that fresh blood, and I just feel like that's what Baltimore's problem is Harbaugh doesn't light a fire under his head coach's asses. Not head coach, but like his offensive coordinators. Yeah, his coordinators. He doesn't light a fire under the ass. He doesn't hold him. It's like who is the defensive coordinator for the Ravens? What's his name? I know they finally brought in like one of our old defensive coordinators to get him right, but for the first part of the season, that guy wasn't adjusting. It was bad. So I don't know.
It's tough. Like, if you look at Harbaugh's record over the past 15 years, there's probably not many people in the league other than maybe like Andy Reid or something that probably have a better record.
Regular season.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we have with friggin' Tomlin, where it's like, you're not horrible, so it's tough to make a change, but also you're not really making any progress, or you haven't. And it's like, I'm willing to give him a chance.
Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons. That's why
right. Yep, that's pretty much it. And you also like...
But there's a difference between stacking 8 and 9 win seasons and stacking 12, 13 win seasons like the Ravens. You know what I mean?
Well, and with him, it's interesting because it's like he won a Super Bowl very early on in his tenure with mostly players from the previous regime. And then after those players retired, like 2011, 2012, because they made another Super Bowl a couple years after that. After those players mostly retired, other than Ben, it was a very noticeable drop-off where they were not really contending. They made one more AFC championship, but that's just basically because of good playoff matchups where they played like a Dolphins team with the backup quarterback and then the Chiefs, who couldn't score with Alex Smith, even though they were the second seed. They won a game with all field goals. So it's like, you never really felt like a contender since then, especially since Ryan Shazier stopped being able to walk, really.
He got folded like a fucking pretzel.
Yeah, they actually had a decent chance with that team until that happened to him, like 2017 or so. But yeah, then AB went crazy.
Always those primetime games.
Oh,
big injuries like that.
And well, at least your guys aren't as bad at game planning as the Steelers in that playoff game where they decided to play the pass heavy against the biggest run team in the NFL. They're like, we're going to sit back and wait for them to pass it with Lamar. I'm like, I don't think they're going to pass it, guys. Not when you do that.
Uber for 5 says go Lions. I hope the Lions, Vikings, and Packers just happen to be really bad this year. Considering
Packers making the big moves. Micah Parsons.
Fuck that shit, dude.
Sports ball. Let's go.
Yeah, sports ball.
Hey,
we had this discussion over on Sports Wars. You guys can check that out this morning. I do. For you guys that don't know, I run a channel called Sports Wars. We'll talk a lot of football this season. But
I also, speaking of Sports Wars, I got to see that video you made, Ryan, about the Raja Jackson guy who beat the shit out of that wrestler for real. Like, that was crazy.
That was wild.
Did you see the old video that surfaced about Rampage Jackson about his kids?
Oh shit!
Which one?
He said his Asian kid has a college fund, but his black kids don't because he knows they're not going to college. It's like,
oh my god! Holy shit!
Racism.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
God.
And when that Raja situation happened and everyone was saying he should be arrested, Mark Henry came out and then said, it's just a bunch of racists who hate black people saying that. Because of course he said that. Most wrestlers nowadays are
kind of a really bad take on that. Yeah, that situation was crazy though. And Rampage Jackson's kind of stupid. And his kid's really stupid.
Yeah.
So it's a bad combination. But we are up against it. We've been going an hour and a half, guys, on Sunday. It feels like it's flown by, to be honest with you. We just kept talking and talking and talking, whether it was games or entertainment or whatever. But Sleazy, where can people find you, man? And what do you talk about?
My channel is Sleazy Society. I do videos on whatever the fuck piques my interest that day. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's a lot of things. And I'm going to shill a book, and I'm going to do it for free. I know that's very un-Jew-like of me, but
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Or dollars.
The book. It's expensive, but I think anybody who's interested in anything and everything should get this. It essentially teaches you how to do everything.
So when you mean like how to do everything, are you talking about like stuff around the house?
Everything from oil drilling to making herbal medicines that actually work, not that new age bullshit. How to make and mine metals, how to build aqueducts, aquifers, how to build houses, how to make engines, how to farm different types of crops, how to make electronics. It is the book for everything.
Is there something in there that can make Orion less angry?
Probably.
And maybe Jeremy less gay?
Now I just want to make.
They do teach you how to make bats and weapons, so you can beat them straight.
Shadiversity will like that chapter.
Yeah.
Now I just want to make a movie and just title it The Movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much a book on everything you would need to do to restart a civilization to get up to where we are today, in a descriptive enough way that if you have an IQ above 75, you can figure it out.
There you go. That's cool, man, actually. So I have to check it out, the book. But check out Sleazy. I put his link in the comments there. Lore Master Chris, what do you got going on, man?
I've got nothing like upcoming for my channel. You can follow me on the formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. And also, I just want to say two things. First of all, I'm recommending a Star Wars book I've currently been reading titled The Rule of Two. It is really good. If you're one of those people that made the mistake of sitting through The Acolyte and thought it was as bad as it really was, you should read this book and see what we are missing out on. And I just completely forgot what the other thing was. Oops.
No, it's all good, man. I put your Twitter there in the comments section. Thanks for being here.
Oh,
John,
I just remember what the second thing was. You guys were mentioning sports a while just before we wrap this up. I was just thinking, I was hanging out with my dad a few days ago, and he said, maybe one day my team, the Redskins, will win a Super Bowl. It just came into perspective. They haven't won a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
But they're also not even called the Redskins anymore.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
dad's just
No,
fucked.
we
I will
don't
always call them
the
the Redskins.
They're the Redskins, not the Command Queers like they are now.
But I will call them that because like it just like happenstance. However, I don't want to call them that anymore because they rejected that cool ass fucking name. They want to be all fucking gay and shit. So I'm not going to respect them more by calling them a cool name. Fuck them.
Yeah, well,
Especially after the Hail Mary bullshit.
Maybe they'll stop being the worst team in the league.
Hey,
Well,
they made
well,
the
that's
NFC
the Browns.
They
Championship.
were in the NFC Championship last year, so yeah, they're pretty good, and everybody loves Jaden Daniels. But John Gets Gaming, where can people find you, man?
Oh, well, that's the name of the channel. And been doing, actually been doing a lot of classic shit. Just had Twisted Metal 3 and 4 we were playing through, which I don't care what anybody says. The fourth one is still the best after playing through all four of them recently. And then, I've been working on New Jedi Order, Agents of Chaos, Jedi Eclipse. About halfway through that book, so I'm gonna be putting a review about that sometime soon, and then we're gonna get into some fucking horror gaming, get through some Resident Evils and stuff once September hits.
Spooky season.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. Subhuman. What do you got going on, man?
Nothing. No, I'm on home time, so I'm probably gonna sit back and play some video games and read some comic books. But y'all can find me on Twitter also, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's where you find me.
There you go. Well, thanks, Subhuman. Good seeing you again, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Mazit Wazad, you got anything to plug?
Well, I mean, you can see me posting some asshole memes and shit like that on X. Otherwise, you can catch me Friday nights, Saturday mornings, or Sunday nights on either Hex Azrael, Ali Bunny, or tonight's gonna be V Rexy playing Dead by Daylight. That's what I do.
Cool.
There you go. So I'll put your Twitter in there then so people can follow you there. Mazit Wizard. I think I spelled it right.
Could you make your name a little bit easier, please?
It's straight from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's right.
While trying to act black.
You need to change that right now.
But yeah, hey, thank you guys for being here. We had a good solid stream. We will be back. There is a chance. Hold on. When is the next one supposed to be? I think on the 28th, I might be traveling on the 28th. So we might push it to October. I'll let you guys know. It will probably push it a week because I think I'll be traveling when officially the last Sunday in September is. So it'll probably be the week after that. But a couple more weeks, we'll be right back here. So thank my guests for joining me and appreciate all the support they've shown me over the years. Thanks to the people in the chat, except for the retards, I guess. But other than that, we appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out.